Hi, it's Paula from Paula Quilting. Welcome back to my channel. Today another tutorial about binding. So the type of the binding I will be showing you today is kind of double binding, but depending on the colors you will use to make that inside layer, which I'll show you in a minute, it can really add nice pop and detail to your quilt. So what you want to prepare, this is a roll of 2.5-inch binding made as normal. I use scrappy type. It looks really uniform here, but there's lots of different shades of blue in here. I've got a tutorial how I'm making my scrappy binding, so I will link it in the description below. So that's one roll, and the second roll is made really the same method binding, just the strip is 1 1/4. You can use a narrower strip or a little bit bigger strip, but it will depend how much you want that double binding to stick out. So you may like to do some testing before you crack on with the bigger project. I use 1 1/4, and you will see how it looks when it's finished. So I've got the roll of my that narrower binding, and I will be adding it to the right side of my quilt. So nothing complicated here. The only difference is you want to sew it very close to the edge, like 1/8 or even closer. You just really want to tuck it in place, so it doesn't have to kind of be any specific measurement, just less than 1/4, because we'll be adding a second tape later. So let me just quickly go around and I will stop and show you how to tackle the corner of those, depending on the effect you want to make. Okay, I'm getting to the corner here, and just have a look at your scrappy binding to see that you don't want to have a linking close to the corner, because it's difficult to work with. So let me get a little bit closer. And you have two options here. You can either go with the square corner here, or you would like to have metered one. If you're happy just with the square corner, the only thing you need to do is like you would do with the normal binding. You go to the top and you pull your strip down, and you can just stitch on top of it, down and to the other side. Pivot and go straight to the other side. There's no need to cut the thread or anything like that. You just stitch down and to the other side. If you want to have metered corner in this spot, you want to stop quite a lot before. You can see I'm a good 2 inches before the edge. I will pin this spot here so it doesn't move for me, and I will pin this spot here so it doesn't move for me. And now I want to take another pin and kind of shuffle that bit which comes from the top inside until I've got that metered corner here. Here we go. So basically that strip which is coming from the top, I made it so it's flat. Let me show it. Flat to the edge coming from this side. And you just, you move it as long until you achieve the metered corner you would like this one now here. And you can pin here as well so it doesn't move whilst you'll be stitching down. Either way will look fine, so if you don't want to worry about the metered corner, just do the straight one. I finished stitching on that strip, and how I linked it at the end was exactly the same as I was doing with a normal binding. Again, I've got a tutorial recorded, so I would put it in the description below how I link my binding, but you can obviously do it any method you normally use. It's, you know, it's a preference. So now I'm ready to add actual binding to the quilt. So where you're going to stitch it depends how you want to finish it. If you want to finish by hand at the back, you know, like that hidden stitch, then obviously you want to stitch it to the front and then you will turn it to the back and stitch it there. If you want to finish at the front, you're gonna have to sew it on the back and then finish at the front either with decorative stitch, straight stitch, or by hand, maybe using a big stitch technique, which I also got tutorial, which I will link it in the description below. I want to finish by machine, so I will be sewing my binding at the back, and then I will bring it forward, and I will use a stitch, blanket stitch on my machine to finish it off. So putting on the binding, I do want to make sure that I am not sewing with the 1/4 inch. I'm going to sew with my needle move to the left to make sure that what I've got at the back is more or less even to what I will have at the front, because if I sew a 1/4 at the back, it's going to be much bigger at the front, so I will not have that kind of effect of that sticking up as much as I would like to. So this is what I'm going for. Again, I've got it explained in a tutorial about the sewing the binding by machine in the description below. Alright, so I will sew on my binding and I will catch you up again when I'm ready to finish off at the front with the blanket stitch. Okay, so I finished left side. Nothing, you know, spectacular or different, normal binding sewing on. And now it's time to finish it on the right side. I've changed my thread to a purple one, so kind of goes with that darker strip. And even on the brighter one, there's still some like pinkish purple colors, which should hopefully fit nicely as well. And as you can see, when I pull that binding on top to kind of cover a little bit the stitch made by sewing it on, I still got good about 1/4 of that tape kind of sticking out, and that's what I'm going for. You can, you know, you test it yourself if you like to try it on some scraps, see how you like it, how much you would like to sticking out. It's really up to you. So what I want to use is a blanket stitch. So the setup is that I will have just normal stitches here outside of the binding, and then obviously blanket stitch will catch on the binding itself. So let's see how it goes. I want them quite often really, but I don't want them too big, so I'm just going to take few stitches and see how it looks, because obviously I can still adjust it if necessary. Yes, I'm happy with how it looks at the moment. So I will now go very slowly and make sure that I'm using my finger to push that tape out from the back, so I don't have any puckers on the back, and then I'm pulling it with my other hand towards the left to cover a little bit, just a little bit, that stitch it made when I was attaching it on the left side. And I'm not going, you know, fast here, because obviously I want to make sure that my stitches are nice and in the spot I want them to be. When you're getting to the corner, you may like to cut out a little bit of the quilt. Make sure you don't cut out through the binding, that will make a hole in your binding, just the quilt itself. That will remove that bulk there and make you know, easier to stitch a nice mitered corner here. how to work out the corners, I did also show that in that other tutorial I've got on the binding, so I won't be repeating here. It's the same process, there's no difference because of that additional binding part. The only difference is where I want that blanket stitch to kind of stop before I pivot, but that's again preference. You might use different stitch to attach it, so it will not be relevant to what you do. And I'm just using pin here to help me to get that metered corner, but then again, I'm not a perfection person. I rather have it, you know, good enough is good enough. Okay, now I'm ready to pivot my quilt. Okay, I can see here already how it looks. It looks really nice, and I like that purple color on that blue, dark blue color on the back. And on the back it looks very nice as well. So I will carry on with that stitch, finish all my quilt, and I will show you in the close-ups how it looks. And this is how the finished binding looks like. My quilt is quite rich in colors and you know, and designs. It's a scrappy quilt, so I guess you may not see kind of good contrast here to kind of somewhat appreciate how it looks. But if you use perhaps maybe a solid color here and then maybe a scrappy binding to link with your quilt, that will add another dimension. I really like that it's not flat, that it's got that kind of, you know, it's dimensional. You can kind of play with it if you want to. It really looks nice, and also that blanket stitch add another kind of decorative accent to it as well. With this corner here, because how I've stitched it, that I pivot here at the corner and I carried on this side, this was loose, so I went in after I finished all the quilt and I finished it off by hand with like invisible stitch. I took the thread which was matched with the binding, so you cannot really see it, and that corner is now nice and metered. So don't worry about it if you know you skip something with the machine. Just go with, you know, and finish it off by hand. This is how it looks at the back. You could change the thread color to match with the binding or the backing if you wish to, but I think it looks quite nice on this side as well. I still have threads now to go through and tidy up and bury them where I need to, and now the quilt is all finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on double binding. It can really change how the binding looks like and add that additional frame around your design depending on your quilt. It's very easy to do, as you can see, and also adds a little bit of thickness here, so looks nice and full when you look at it. As usual, check the description below for the references and tutorials mentioned in this video. I've also pasted a link to the quilting tips playlist, so you have everything in one place. Thank you for watching and see you next time.